Thanks, Dan Wettis and Bill O'Reilly. In the Weekdays with Bernie segment tonight, President Obama has taken a few shots at Fox News recently. Here's what he said in Virginia Beach.
Just in case some of your friends or neighbors or, Uncle Jim, who's a little stubborn and been watching Fox News, and, he thinks that somehow I raised taxes. Let's just be clear. We've lowered taxes for middle-class families since I came into office.
All right, joining us now from North Carolina, the purveyor of BernardGoldberg.com, Mr. Goldberg. I don't think this is a big deal. I don't mind him taking shots at us because we are, the Fox News channel, more skeptical of the president than the other networks,
right.
And that's the truth.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I don't think that in and of itself is a big deal either.
No.
He takes a shot at an easy target, the audience laughs or
right.
boos, and he moves on. But at another level, there is something significant going on here. Barack Obama, no bulletin here, really doesn't like Fox News. And it isn't just because of those commentators who won't give him the time of day who are on Fox. It's because this is the network that covers Solyndra. This is the network that covers Fast and Furious. This is the network that covered his intemperate remarks about small business owners last week. Does Fox go heavy on those stories? Yes. But the so-called mainstream networks, the ones that are non-political at all, the ones that are above the fray, they come to those stories very late. They downplay those stories. And you don't have to be a right-wing nut to get the impression that if they didn't cover them at all, that would be just fine with them.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
all a matter of degree. And I don't think the president has a thick skin anyway. I don't think he likes to be criticized by anyone at any time.
Exactly.
So that's why he does it. All right, now, ABC News, Bernie and I know Brian Ross very well. He's an excellent reporter, one of the best. He makes a fairly significant mistake in the opening salvo of reporting on the Colorado movie Massacre. Roll the tape.
I want to go to Brian Ross here, because, Brian, you've been looking at investigating the background of Jim Holmes here. You found something that might be significant.
There's a Jim Holmes of Aurora, Colorado page on the Colorado Tea Party site as well, talking about him joining the Tea Party last year. Now, we don't know if this is the same Jim Holmes, but it's Jim Holmes of Aurora, Colorado.
Okay, we'll keep looking at that. Yes. Brian Ross, thanks very much.
All right, it turned out it wasn't, and the story was bogus, and ABC apologized. But the damage, of course, was done.
Yeah. This is a big mistake, not just on Brian Ross's part, who is a very good reporter normally, but also on George Stephanopoulos' part. He shouldn't be allowed to get by on this one. The mistake isn't what ABC News and a bunch of critics, both on the right and the left, say it is. They say the mistake is that he jumped the gun. He said maybe this is the same Jim Holmes who was in the Aurora Tea Party. That's not the mistake. The mistake was bringing the Tea Party into this at all. What's the relevance of bringing the Tea Party into this? They don't have a reputation. Its members don't have a reputation for shooting up movie theaters or for shooting up anything. The reason too many reporters drag the Tea Party into stories like this is because they have a predisposed disposition about the Tea Party, and it's not a good one. They think a lot of their members are unhinged, so they tie them to the Aurora shooting. They tie them to the massacre in Arizona. They even bring them in to the Times Square bombing, which was the work of a Pakistani, because, they think if they bring the Tea Party into this enough times.
The Tea Party. Now, what do you think Stephanopoulos should have done if you're laying it at his doorstep? What should he have done?
I'll tell you what he should have done, but let's make something clear. You and I know how this works. When he asked Brian Ross that question, he knew what Brian Ross was going to say. Brian Ross didn't come up with this just on the spur of the moment on the set. What he should have done, I'll tell you what I would have done, and this is what he should have done. Brian, but I'm just curious, what's the significance of bringing the Tea Party into this at all? Let's say it is the same Jim Holmes who shot up the theater who's in the Tea Party. What's the significance of that, Brian?
I don't know. I think that would have been newsworthy. Look, if somebody from Move On...
Would it be newsworthy if he were a registered
Well, let me ask you this.
Republican?
I know where you're going here. But if somebody from Move On, if that guy was a member of Move On, and that was, he was out demonstrating and that would become a huge story. Any kind of political activism attached to a mass murder is going to be a story. Here's what I would have done. You tell me if I'm wrong.
Hold on, Bill.
Go ahead.
Bill, if he had said before he opened fire, I'm sick and tired of government intruding in my life, then it might have been relevant.
I disagree with you. I think that any kind of political component would have been.
What's the relevance?
The relevance is you're tying politics into violence. That's just the relevance.
But only a certain kind of politics. If he
that's right. But as I said, if he were move on, we would have reported it here at Fox.
Wait a second.
And we would have been.
What if he was a run-of-the-mill Democrat or a run-of-the-mill Republican?
No. It would have to be an organization that has a high profile. That's what it would have been.
There are a lot more Democrats than there are Tea Party people. No, the reason they do it, let's make sure that you understand my take on this. The reason they do it is because they don't like Tea Party people.
No, absolutely. Now, but I don't think Brian Ross has any acts against the Tea Party. I just don't think he does.
He shouldn't have done it, and it wasn't just jumping the gun.
No, but he was looking for the headline. He was looking to break the headline story. That's what I'm saying. So Bernie and I are actually agreeing in a kind of roundabout way.
Yeah, okay, I'll buy that.
Reality check on deck. Did you know Canadians now have more money than Americans? Oh, Canada. And the factor tip of the day, how you can fight back if you get ripped off. Don't take it. Upcoming.